Good afternoon, Year 7. The end of our second week of the summer term. Weather's turned a bit, but doesn't really make much difference at the moment. We can only really go in our gardens, can't we? But still, onward. Before we get into the village project again, I want you to do this Do Now, which as ever is focused on The Wind in the Willows, the book we will be doing an assessment, or rather you will be doing an assessment on at the end of the summer term. I'm going to do something slightly different today, which is going to take you about 10 minutes. I want you to look at the statement there. The Wind in the Willows is written for both adults and children. How far do you agree with this statement? Now, this is how a certain part of the GCSE comes. They give you a statement and then they ask you how far you agree with it. So I want you just to have a think about that. I've given you an example underneath. You always start out with I partially agree with this statement, which is the same as I partly agree, and then you go on to explain why. On one hand, the book has animals that speak going on adventures, and then put a quote there that shows that. On the other hand, the writing is sophisticated enough to be enjoyed by adults. Quote here. So I want you to do a paragraph of your own like that with the evidence in it. So that probably it might take you a bit more than 10 minutes, but I've put 10 minutes on there. Okay, if it takes you a bit more, then that's not a problem. Really like to see it as well, see how you get on with that. Give it a go, you know. It's not a test, it's the first time you've done anything like that, so I would love to see it. Today we're doing some descriptive writing, and it's going to be about our character's favourite place. So there's the title there, writing descriptively about our character's favourite place. Put that into your books. Now, not thinking about the village for a moment, what's your favourite place? Do you have a favourite place? Most people do. Perhaps you have to think about it first to decide you've got a favourite place. It might be somewhere that you've gone on holiday that you don't see that often, or it might be something that you pass every day. But have a think about it and just jot down a couple of ideas. Now we're going to think about your character. So you've got to get into character like an actor. You've got to be that policeman, be that vet, be the person who's running the sweet shop, I think there's a soldier in there as well, isn't there? What do you think your favourite place would be? Now, it won't be in the village already, or it might be, but you can create one. We're going to put this place on the map. So I want you to create a mind map of places in the village. You know how to do a mind map, don't you? See the cloud in the middle there, and then lines coming off it saying all the different places in the village. And then when you've done that, when you've got all the different places in the village on your mind map, I want you to put a little line next to them saying whether your character likes that place or doesn't like it. Could be the sweet shop, does like it because it's full of sweets, or doesn't like the sweet shop because it's a dentist. And I know we do have a dentist here as well. So there you are. That's your task for the next 10 minutes, and then go on to the next slide. Now you're going to write a paragraph explaining why your character's favourite place is so special to them. Make sure you include a metaphor, a simile and a personification, and use sentence length to create effects. Right, when you've read that, just go on to the next slide. There's an example of one that I've done. Right, here's one that I've done. Oh, excuse me. I imagine yours will definitely be a bit longer than this, but this ticks all the boxes if you like. There is a place I like to go down by the river. There is a short pier that juts out like a finger into the glistening water. If you walk to the end of this pier, you can see for miles up and down the river. In the winter, the water roars through the pillows that hold the pier up. In the summer, the water chatters against the steel posts. The river is a story that never ends and never gets boring. It has been sweeping past this spot for millennia and will be here long after I have gone. It makes me feel that I'm part of something bigger than myself. When I come here, all my problems seem insignificant. Now, I've done some highlighting there. Juts out like a finger is a simile. Water chatters against the steel post is a personification. And the river is a story that never ends and never gets boring is a metaphor. And the one in red at the top, there is a place I like to go down by the river, is a declarative sentence. It's relatively short and to the point and just declaring something. So that's been done for effect. So have a look at that, have a think about it, because you're going to do one in just a minute, and then go on to the next slide. Once your paragraph is perfect, a perfect piece of descriptive writing, including a metaphor, a simile, a personification, and sentence length for effect, once you've done that, if you can, just send it to me on email. I'd love to see it. And also I'd like to see this. You're going to draw a picture of your character's favourite place and then label it on your maps that we did last week. So good luck with that, Year 7. I hope you enjoy it, and I will speak to you next week. Have a nice weekend, and as ever, any problems or any work you want to send me, then do. I'd love to see it. Have a nice weekend.